Molo Sanbonani, hello, how's it? Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is a Wednesday morning, and you know what that means? This beautiful Zulu mag is back on your morning screens for the Vuka Nazo morning show. Morning, welcome to it. My name is Sihle Ngobese. Remember, if you want to get in touch with us here on the Big Daddy Liberty Show, all you need to do is go to our website. That's at www.bigdaddyliberty.com. All of our information as to how you can get a hold of us on social media is in the descriptor of this video. With that having been said, let's get straight into the news. All right, we begin here this morning. You'll remember on Monday, the South African National Defence Force had a communique effectively leak. In it effectively noted what it called and considered a deteriorating security outlook in the country, which would lead to disruptions, it warned, and prompting, quote, according to that communique, in this regard, the South African Army infantry formations having been ordered to go on a 25-hour standby in anticipation of deploying in support of cooperation with the SAPs. That, of course, was a direct quote from that communique that came out on Monday. The Army coming out now and saying, well, actually, hold your horses. That communique is, quote, taken out of context, and instead, the Army can only be deployed upon the wishes and instructions, rather, of the South African president, citing, therefore, that it has not been deployed, but at the same time, an almost half denial that there is some form of readiness in the matter. Now, this is what the spokesperson for the military actually said on this particular matter. The SANDF spokesperson, Brigadier General Andries Mahapa, said that this was never intended, the communique that is, for public consumption, as it was an internal document for planning and coordinating purposes within the SANDF. He said the SANDF, that's the army, of course, as a security apparatus, was concerned about insecurity that required an urgent and robust intervention to, quote, calm the situation and protect inhabitants. He goes on to say that his chief, that's his boss, and of course the head honcho of the SANDF, would like to reiterate that should the deployment of the SANDF be authorized according to section 201(1) of the Constitution, it would be mainly to prevent, for the prevention of life, health, property, and not against the people of South Africa, end of quote. Now, it should worry you that this is effectively a half denial, in the sense of course, there's no army deployment at the moment, but clearly it's something they're thinking about. And if they are noticing a deterioration in the security outlook in the country, trust you me, they're late to the party, because I know you have noticed that same deterioration, whether it's the crime or the matter that we've now seen blow up in the media of the spate of Zamazamas, for example, and the illegal immigrants said to make up these gangs, which speaks to, of course, the lawlessness of our borders and the crime situation broadly in the country. There's something brewing in this country. I know you feel it. I know I feel it. And hey, it might be a time that you as the individual, you as the family person, actually take steps to safeguard yourself, and don't wait for the army or even the police, because trust you me, they are not coming to save you. All right, I take you to the province of KwaZulu-Natal now. Let's look at the politics here for a moment, with the ANC in this province having elected, or announced rather, that its premier-elect, that is who they've chosen to replace uSihle Zikalala. You remember Sihle Zikalala, of course, of the infamous Puma Sihle song at the ANC conference in KZN, resigned his post in the last few days as the premier of the province. So the ANC was on a mission, of course, to replace him, and Nomusa Dube-Ncube has been elected, and chosen rather, to be elected as the new premier. Now, Here's the thing about the politics of this all. A lot of people were probably wondering and asking the question, why wasn't the ANC's newly elected chairperson, Usiboniso Duma, elected to become the premier? Well, according to the ANC, well, he opted, as he put it, to work on the ground and to rebuild ANC structures in KZN and allow someone else, his comrade, of course, Nomusa Dube, to take the hot seat as premier in this interim period till the next election in 2024. Now, that's very important for the ANC because, as you'll remember, the ANC faces losing KZN. Let me say that again. The ANC faces losing KZN, and will likely lose it to a formation of led by the Inkatha Freedom Party, who have literally shot up in the support rankings in the province, with the last local government election giving a strong indication that the KZN formation, the IFP, will take the ascendancy once again. So of course the ANC is nervous. Of course it will see the likes of Usiboniso Duma focus therefore on building its support and rebuilding, if anything, its support base. But it's how this happens, which is where I would say be very careful of the detail in the devil's contract, so to speak. Insofar as I have every expectation, this is my view on this, I have every expectation that we're about to see a period from now to the election where ANC governments across the board, from local governments to the provincial government in KZN, are about to open the taps of patronage, in which effectively that coalition, rather that crooked arrangement of party and state, will be blurred insofar as buying potentially support and buying its support in the province in order to bolster itself ahead of the election. That's my prediction, based on the fact that this is how the ANC has operated in the past. It built a crony network of patronage to shore up support, and I'm not expecting to see anything different in this regard. But hey, who knows? Maybe the team by Usiboniso Duma and Nomusa Dube-Ncube might prove me wrong, and boy oh boy, would I be very welcoming of being proven wrong on this issue. All right, we end here tonight with the story out of the United Kingdom. Ho! Guess what? If you are a South African expat who has emigrated to the UK, you must be grinding your teeth in frustration and literally saying, really? With the UK, of course, being said to be bracing for blackouts, rolling blackouts, effectively, gas cuts in January in what they deemed a emergency plan. Now, the piece where I saw this effectively said the following. The UK is planning for several days over the winter when cold weather may combine with their gas shortages, leading to organized blackouts for industry and even households. Now, South Africans know this very well as load shedding. This is what I'm saying. If you're a South African in that part of the world, you must be literally seething. It goes on to say in the article that under the government's latest reasonable worst case scenario, Britain could face an electricity capacity shortage totaling about a sixth of what is their peak demand, even after the emergency coal plants have been fired up. This is, of course, according to people familiar with the government's plan. All right, any South African reading this, as I said, knows exactly what's happening and probably is seething, but it's more than that. It's a broader issue, I think, being faced by Europe at the moment, which is facing an energy crunch given its hostile approach to the Russians, who literally control their gas, most of their gas needs in that part of the world. The Russians, of course, deciding, stuff it, if you're going to sanction us, we'll cut off your gas supplies, and good luck to you in winter. That chicken is literally coming home to roost in a rather, I won't call it hilarious, because it's people's lives that are at stake in this situation. The politics, though, is coming home to roost in a rather bitter kind of way. But with that being said, good luck to you guys. Maybe get them solar panels going and them gas heaters. Oh man, you can't even get those going either because of your situation. But this is a situation South Africans know all too well. And as always, whenever you have shortages of this nature, whenever you have a crisis of this nature, it's always 100% government and politicians created, whether it's here in South Africa with our load shedding and the dismal state of Eskom, that cash cow for politicians, or in the UK in this instance, and likely the rest of Europe, where there too, the action of politicians is coming home to roost and bite ordinary citizens in the butt. Alright folks, thank you for watching this another episode of Vuka Nazo, the Wednesday edition. Happy Wednesday to you. Have a productive day. And as always, you can find me on my website at www.bigdaddyliberty.com. Remember, hit that subscribe button please, especially if you're watching this on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification so that you are notified every time we post, every weekday from 7 a.m. And of course, you want to find us on any of our social media. All of that information is in the descriptor of this video. With that being said, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you tomorrow for another episode of Vuka Nazo.